What is going on,
Let's go.
everybody? We is NASCAR Day. We're at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Mamba Smith here. Got my boy Pete, Young Pete. How are you?
I'm great, amazing.
Nice
NASCAR Day.
shirt.
Yeah, nice shirt for you
Thanks.
too. Matchy kind of. Yeah.
75 hours of giving. What's going on here?
Well, you got it. We are like hour 71 of a 75-hour give-a-thon, part of our 75th anniversary, and we're raising money for over 800 charities represented in every state across the country. So it's been a great week just in general with all the Wilkesboro All-Star stuff, but
been a busy week.
It's a special moment, man, and we got like less than 4 hours to bring this home and bring it home strong and raise as much money for people in need as much as possible. So
folks, if you go to the description, you can donate. There's a link to donate, and actually this is what our total right now, so we're up to almost $500,000 right there. All right, so we're doing pretty good since Tuesday started.
It's awesome. And what's cool,
It just went up. Look at that. I love seeing money go in.
What's cool about it is, donors, and we got the most generous fans and with the biggest heart of all the sports, I believe. And what's cool is you can donate to a specific charity of your preference. You can split that between multiple charities. It can be $1, $100, $500, or you can just give it to sort of a central pot that's distributed to all the charities. So everyone kind of wins in this. So.
One of the cool things that I like about it too is there's partners that match.
Yeah.
Right now we're in the 4 to 5 hour, and Jeep Beach is matching, so that's awesome.
You got it. And then Coca-Cola's up next. And then I think NASCAR is up next, and then I think it's Speedway Motorsport that's going to bring it home with Speedway Children's Charities.
So with the NASCAR Foundation, because a lot of folks, it's been around for an extremely long time and evolved in so many different ways. But this is the first give-a-thon like this.
It is.
What makes this special? I know it's in conjunction with NASCAR 75 and 75th anniversary.
Well, it's the first time. I think we're going to talk to Nicole Krieger, our executive director, and I'm a proud board member, but. She actually, when we started talking about the 75th and how do we celebrate and how do we like really lean into the special elements that make this sport so freaking amazing. She's like, stewarding and the generosity of this sport, that's like something we got to do something like big on a big scale. Yeah. And so she got some inspiration from some other some teams and sports and was like, let's just blow it up and just do a 75th hour kind of give-a-thon and go kind of all in on something. One time, and honestly, I think, Mamba, this is something that we're going to see again. I think it's just been really a big success. Just the stories and the sharing and the generosity that's come out of this. It's really been cool. So I think that we're going to build on this in a big way. So
I'm excited, and going into this weekend, it's All-Star Weekend. We got to chat about that for a minute. Yeah. We're in North Wilkesboro, man. Yeah. I know you're excited about it.
I'm so excited. And I have not been up there yet. I'm going up Sunday morning. I'm going to leave really early. I'm expecting to be in traffic, and that's
for a
fine.
long time.
I'm expecting to park far away, and that's cool too. But I've heard nothing but rave reviews. The team, Jessica and Speedway Motorsports, they've worked their tails off to get that place in a great spot. But how cool to go back to that really special place that we haven't raced in a couple decades. And do so at our All-Star race, but also, do it on our 75th anniversary. And again, something that, I hope to see that, down the road again as well. So
absolutely. Well, man, appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Since we started talking, it's gone up another 1,000.
You just keep talking.
We're just going to keep talking and keep bringing in the money.
Yeah.
So I see some other friends around here. Who do you think we should grab? I see that. Hemrick?
Yeah.
I think Daniel Hemrick's over here.
Let's do it.
Yeah, he's coming in.
Let's go.
What's up? Great job.
Trading one guy in for another.
Hey, you see this number behind us?
Yeah, that thing's pretty big.
It's almost $500,000.
So, all right, so what could you do with $500,000?
$500,000?
Yeah.
The good thing is a lot of smart people way above me that can handle that. College is expensive for our kids and whatnot, but that's not what today's about. Today's about everybody else.
Today's about giving.
Yes.
And you do a lot with different foundations.
Yeah.
So tell people kind of what your favorite one is that you guys work with over at Colleague and kind of what you do for it.
Yeah, man. So first off, Matt Colleague and his wife Lisa, they've been involved with the NASCAR Foundation and put on just some incredible events over the last couple of years. I think actually last year was their first year really being involved. but that's grown. I think last year was the Speedy Bear Brigade. I think.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to be a part of. Myself, AJ Allmendinger, Justin Haley, all the drivers. What's funny is Matt gave them money and promised that all those drivers would come do the appearances. That's how it went down, really. But it's all good stuff. So we love doing what Matt asks us to do, especially whenever it's helping the community and especially everyone here at NASCAR Foundation. And then on the personal side for myself, my wife Kinsey, we have our scholarship within Rowan Cabarrus Community College where we're able to, fund a scholarship for what started as like half a scholarship for one person to now we're up to 2 full scholarships we get to provide every school year, which is really cool. That changes people's lives, right? And that's what it's all about, is leaving an impact well past this once our time's come and gone. And no different than this $500,000 that we're closing in on going to do is
we're
changes so many people's lives. So that's pretty special.
Don't forget, it's in the description. If you want to donate, click that, and you can add to this total that we're raising.
Yeah.
During the Giveathon, we were just talking to Pete. It's also All-Star Weekend at North Wilkesboro. You're a short track guy.
Yep.
Like, that place, what's that mean to you?
Dude, that is so cool, man. To see how that place has been completely brought back to life, right? It started with Dale Jr. and those guys with what they call them, weed whackers or weed eaters, depending on what part of the country you're
just
from.
walking around
just cutting stuff out. But no, I'm telling you, to have Marcus Smith and Wilkes County and everyone kind of like, hey, I think we can probably do this. You know how much goes in to pulling something like that off? I can't imagine the legwork that's went on behind the scenes.
Wild.
So that's very special, man. I remember actually, I've never ran laps there, but I've had the opportunity to go and help my wife in a race car there about 10 or 15 years ago. So it's special to see us bring that racetrack back to life.
So with the NASCAR Giveathon, it's NASCAR Day, NASCAR 75. Looking back as a kid, and we're in the Hall of Fame, so we have like some of the coolest,
pretty special deal.
Coolest stuff in here. And as you've gone through your career, being able to be a part of things like this, what does that mean to you?
That's everything, right? When you can stand in a building like this, and we're encapsulated by, 75 years of our sport, of the history of everything that's, made NASCAR what it is.
Yeah.
To have days like this, and you look at the first race car that ever raced, pretty much.
Yeah,
and
basically,
see it, right? You see how we've all come full circle back to doing something like raising the amount of money we're going to do here today with the Giveathon. Like that puts chills throughout my entire body to know that it's had such an impact, well beyond racing, right? The stuff that NASCAR, the brand, the logo, everyone within our industry has been able to build to this point. Like that's going to be everlasting, well beyond, like I said, running laps in a race car around any racetrack.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't know. I mean, I'm just a little small part, no different than yourself or all of us, but we try to do our part when we can, and that's why we're here trying to support NASCAR Day Giveathon. And
say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, say it really fast. No, it's special.
Before I let you go, DH, when it comes to community, you kind of hit on it a little bit. But I feel like this one specifically goes above and beyond. When somebody, even down to like a crew member is having a kid and he goes to work on Sunday, but they got to fly back. We've heard stories of people putting them on private planes to get them home.
Incredible stories.
This community really galvanizes around each other.
Yeah, and that's actually, I'm gonna use Mike Hilton. I actually happened to hear his interview on Sirius XM on my drive here to do this with you. And he said, hey, we're kind of like the family at Thanksgiving. Like, no matter what BS is going on within the family, we all take time when it's the right time and it needs to be done to sit down, hold hands, say grace, and be there for one another. And then we can leave here and argue about this or who's fighting who next week at the racetrack. But when it's the right time, you come together. And that's what everybody within our sport does. They come together when they have to, when they absolutely need to. And nobody's ever left, hungry or with their hand open without just something to hold on to. So that's what makes being a part of this community so special. And speaking of special, there's only a couple more hours left.
Only a few more hours. This thing we are done at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Okay, so get in right now. Come donate. We're really closing in on some massive numbers here.
I'm hoping Matt Colleague's watching this. I know he's capable.
It's funny you bring his name up, and then all of a sudden the number goes up.
I know he's capable of boosting this number. So Matt Colleague, if you're watching, they need you.
We need you.
We got to bump this number
and
up.
everybody else a part of the community.
Of course,
we need everybody. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being out here. Thanks for the support.
Absolutely.
You look good.
Had to be.
Hey,
not as good as you. Not as
well,
good.
someone
do your thing. Hype man.
Hey, baby steps.
Appreciate it, guys.
All
Have
right,
fun.
DH. Got another guy here. LeVar Scott.
How you doing?
ARCA Phenom.
No.
Yeah, how we doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Season's going decent. Always want to be better, get some more wins pretty quickly. But it's a good first year to the ARCA Menard Series. It's going to win soon.
One thing that you're not new to is being a part of the foundation and working with kids and Boys and Girls Club. Even though you're a very young driver, you're doing a lot of things in the community. Why is that, and what passion do you draw from that?
I think it's just being young and always growing up and looking at people that I wanted to be growing up. And look at Bubba Wallace. I always wanted to be able to meet him or see him and watch him do what he does best. So knowing that I can kind of be, maybe not exactly Bubba Wallace, but be that to somebody as a kid and then go to different things and kind of help kids and guide them and see them smile all the time, it really does mean a lot to me.
So when you go and you do these things with people, does it remind you as a kid? You're like, oh, I remember that moment. I was doing this thing and met this driver, and then that's kind of what made me want to be that. Is that kind of what you're trying to pass on?
Definitely. I remember just being younger and going like to different tracks to watch Kyle Larson. Like just seeing him through the fence, like 5 feet from his. Oh my God, Kyle Larson's right there. Like just seeing little things like that, I always remember that for the rest of my life. And just knowing that some kids I really look up to, like me, Roger, Bubba nowadays, it's truly humbling, and I love doing it.
What's been one of your favorite things that you've been able to do with your charities that you work with the community? What's one of your favorites?
I actually was at this building last year. A lot of NASCAR Foundation kids came here, and we did like a big tryout outside the place here. We did the pit crew program.
They did a pit stop out there.
Yeah. Did a workout, changed tires and stuff like that, and to see all the kids like playing with the guns and taking the tire off and putting it back on, like it was so cool to see. So I would say here, and then we had one in Daytona that I did. Those things were really, really cool.
One of my favorite things, and I think you can attest to this too, is going through the diversity program. We talk about the physical part and working out.
Yes.
And when you integrate that with kids and with Boys and Girls Club, that's a big thing that goes on too. So I love getting kids active, because that's one thing that they don't really think about, right?
Yes.
It's like, oh, a driver, so I need to be in a sim, but like you got to be really physical too.
I mean, physical is so much. Last week I raced at Nashville. That's probably one of the hardest tracks physically to race at. It was 200 laps, a short track. There's a big bump in turn 1 and turn 3. So just tracks like that, and probably everywhere you go is going to be physically draining, besides obviously Daytona and Talladega. But it takes a lot physically. And, a lot of people don't respect it. It kind of upsets me when people say that race car drivers are fit, or like I want to say you do it, but I don't want to see. I don't want to see you get hurt either. So I'm not going to put you inside the car. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Like this morning I went and worked out just for tomorrow. So it's always something. You got to do something. A lot of cardio. You don't got to do too much bench pressing, because you don't want to be too strong where you just get tired so fast. But a lot of cardio stuff.
What are you looking forward to throughout the NASCAR 75 anniversary? I know you've been in Daytona at the beginning of the year, and you popping up at different racetracks all over the place. What has been the most fun thing for you to experience?
I would say all year. This year just kind of like, I think everybody can attest this. This year just feels different. I feel like everybody feels more involved. Just watching the 75 drivers just come out every week, and just different people being named inside of that. Just this year just feels different. It's really cool to be a part of.
As a young kid, being a part of such a monumental milestone in the sport,
yes,
and you really get to, take it in. Is there anything that you can take that you've learned from just the folks around? Because you're seeing legends almost every week.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, because a lot of legends are actually coming back and driving. Like Dale Jr., they all drove last night at Wilkesboro, and a lot of the older guys from the Cup Series came down to race with all the late model guys. So I'm just seeing this as a transition and more people being a part of different things in the sport. It's really cool to be a part of, really cool to see. Like this week is a big race at North Wilkesboro, a track I've been around in I don't know how many years. So I'm just seeing how this year is really creating and evolving, just people being more involved in different things. It's really, really cool.
All right, LeVar, before I let you go, where can folks find you? I know you got a race this weekend.
Yes.
Where is that at? How can we watch and support?
So I race tomorrow at Flat Rock Speedway in Michigan. You can watch on Flow Racing. My Instagram is LeVar.Scott34. Facebook's LeVar Scott. Thank you guys very much.
Make sure you look up this guy. He's going to be here for a long time. One of the grinders, making his way up through. LeVar, appreciate you, man. It's
Thank
always
you.
good to see you, brother.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, we got one more guest, Mr. Cole.
Hi, Mama.
How are we?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
So this is kind of your baby that you put together here.
Yeah.
This is look at the numbers. See,
Oh my God,
as we talk
look.
about it, the number keeps popping up.
I don't do math in public,
but that's a good thing.
close to 500 grand.
That is close to
So,
500
yeah,
grand. That's
yeah.
what we like to see.
Yeah.
How did you come up with this? I was talking to Pete earlier. He's like, Nicole just really wanted to go for it, and I was all about it. So how did this whole thing come together?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the 75th anniversary. We really are passionate about giving back in our racing communities at the NASCAR Foundation, and what better way to do that than raise $500,000 to
Right.
give to charity and help people in need.
I love it. What are the things that the NASCAR Foundation has done in years past that maybe people have seen before?
Yeah, so a lot of people in our NASCAR family will remember NASCAR Day is 19 years old. It's been around for 19 years. We used to do lapel pins, and the lapel pins would be all over the place, and we would use that. It was $5, and that's what we would do to raise money on NASCAR Day. And it's evolved over the years, and so with 75 years, we said, we need to bring NASCAR Day back. We need to do this. And so here we are with the Give-a-thon.
I love it. It really like affects a bunch of different communities all over the country, especially in our little corner of the Southeast. What's one of the things that you guys have done that you were most proud of?
Well, as a foundation, I think I'm most proud of just going into the hospitals, bringing our Speedy Bear to kids who are sick. A little fact that people may not know, Mrs. France, Betty Jane France, who started the foundation, she picked the Speedy Bear many years ago. We still use the same vendor that made the bear before she passed away. Cool. And I always say, please don't let the vendor go out of business, because I don't want to have to pick a bear that she didn't approve.
Right.
So we'll go in. September 9th is National Teddy Bear Day. We'll go in, we'll give the bear out. We bring drivers. LeVar has come with us. Daniel's come with us. We deliver the bears to the kids, and just making a child feel better is important.
I think one of the coolest things for the kids too, because the drivers are always in fire suits when they show up. It's almost like they're superheroes in costume, and I've been to some of those events, and the kids just light up.
They do, but let me tell you a funny story about the drivers and the fire suits. We learned a long time ago, don't bring a mascot to the hospital with the driver, because the kids want to see the mascot.
The mascot more than the driver.
And it's embarrassing because we're like, oh, here's, Jimmy Johnson. And they're like, oh, but there's Safety Sam. We want to see the mascot. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's so funny. Okay, so what else can we look for going into the rest of this year? It's a big year for NASCAR, obviously the 75th anniversary, and we've kind of combined these two things together.
Yeah, so the other thing that we do at the NASCAR Foundation is we have a series of 12 festivals in our markets, and I think we have like 4 more festivals the remainder of the year. So we'll be coming to the racetracks. We bring usually 100 kids out to the racetrack. Sometimes we give them bicycles and bike helmets, and they come, they learn about our sport, they learn about being healthy, eating right, and so it's our introduction for the kids to get into our world of NASCAR.
Who are, just so everyone knows, because all the fans of NASCAR really support the brands that support what we do here. Who are some of our bigger partners that are part of the NASCAR Foundation?
Coming up in 10 minutes, Coca-Cola has given us $25,000, and they are going to be matching gifts. So if you go to the link that's in the description, remember, like I told you earlier. See, he knows it. If you go to the link that's in the description, Coca-Cola will match the gifts up to $25,000, dollar for dollar. So that's really huge. Thank you to Coke. We also have a First Nation group. They've given a $25,000 match. Jeep Beach, who is a great partner of ours out of Daytona Beach, they gave a $25,000 match. And we have to say, NASCAR and Speedway Motorsports, they gave big. They each gave $50,000 to help with the Give-a-thon, and they've been matching. And Speedway Children's Charities has partnered with us, and so it's been a big family opportunity.
I think that's really important, because this is the NASCAR Foundation, but the NASCAR Foundation and NASCAR run independently of each other. They work together all the time, but we still need support each other, so it's huge.
Yeah, I say it like this. NASCAR is our biggest donor, our biggest supporter, our biggest champion. But at the end of the day, the more money we collectively raise, the more good we can do in our racing communities.
You're doing a great job since we've been here. That's moved up some more. We got Coke coming up. They got some 20. Make sure you guys donate, because we're matching. We are matching. We're trying to get to that $500,000 here before the end of the day at 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah, we're here till 8. So please make your gifts. No gift is too big, too small. $10, $100, whatever you have to give. Give from your heart. Give to those that, speak to you.
Love it. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Nicole.
Mama.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Give, everybody.
Guys, we're in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It is NASCAR Day. It is the NASCAR Give-a-thon, the first time that we've done this. Here in the Hall of Fame, make sure you go to the description, hit the link, donate, whether you think it's $10, $20, 20 bucks, however much money, it all goes to a great cause and supports the community and communities all over the nation. So thank you so much for all your donations and all the support. And don't forget, it is All-Star Weekend, so we will see you at North Wilkesboro.